Anthony Elanga breaks silence on Alexander Isak as Liverpool circles. There's always going to be noise in a transfer window where Liverpool continues to chase new firepower. Newcastle United's latest signing, Anthony Elanga, has addressed the growing speculation surrounding Alexander Isak's future with words that sum up the reality of modern football superstardom. There's always going to be noise. With interest from Liverpool well documented, Newcastle's stance tested, and Hugo Ekitike's name now dominating headlines. The drama surrounding Isak, one of Europe's most coveted strikers, is only just beginning. Newcastle's new signing Anthony Elanga makes noise claim over Alexander Isak's future amid Liverpool interest. The summer transfer market rarely moves quietly, and Newcastle United have found themselves in the eye of the storm. Their marquee striker, Alexander Isak, is a player many believe is destined to lead the line for one of Europe's elite, and Liverpool have made it clear they want to be the ones to take him there. But amidst the noise, Anthony Elanga, the Magpies' new recruit, offers a calm perspective on his Sweden teammates' situation. Elanga's arrival changes the landscape. Anthony Elanga's arrival at St. James' Park has already been met with intrigue. A winger with explosive pace and boundless potential. The former Manchester United man's move to Newcastle was designed to bolster Eddie Howe's attacking ranks. Yet, in an ironic twist, his first major headlines on Tyneside have been less about himself and more about the future of his international teammate, Alexander Isak, speaking openly about the striker, who has become both a friend and mentor, did not shy away from acknowledging the speculation swirling around Isak. There's always going to be noise around him, Elanga said, when asked directly about Isak's future. But at the end of the day, he's a Newcastle United player, right? Now, Elanga's words may seem rehearsed, a footballer's standard diplomatic answer, but behind them lies an acknowledgement of a reality Newcastle cannot escape. Alexander Isak is a striker in demand. Liverpool make their move. Liverpool's admiration for Isak is nothing new. Behind closed doors at Anfield, recruitment teams have been monitoring the Swedish striker for months, viewing him as a potential long-term heir to Mohamed Salah's attacking influence, albeit in a different role. Earlier this week, the Reds formally registered their interest with Newcastle, probing the Magpies' resolve and sending a clear message of intent. With Isak's reputation soaring following a stellar campaign in the Premier League and on the international stage with Sweden, Newcastle's valuation of the striker, north of £85 million, reflects his standing. Liverpool, though, are rarely daunted by hefty price tags when they believe they have found the right player. However, Liverpool's interest doesn't guarantee a transfer. Newcastle, backed by Saudi wealth and a growing ambition to challenge the established order, are under no financial pressure to sell. Isak is under a long-term contract. The club's hierarchy views him as integral to their project. Yet Liverpool's approach has brought the question of Isak's future into the spotlight, and no one at St. James' Park, not even Anthony Elanga, can pretend otherwise. Elanga's admiration for Isak. Anthony Elanga's relationship with Isak is deeper than most club-level partnerships. For Sweden, the pair have shared dressing rooms, training pitches, and the responsibility of carrying their nation's attacking hopes. Elanga speaks warmly of Isak, not merely as a colleague but as a friend and mentor. For me, Alex is the best striker in the world, Elanga stated. Not just football-wise, but off the pitch as well. He's an amazing person, someone I can always rely on for advice. Elanga's respect for Isak transcends club colours or transfer speculation. His words reflect genuine admiration and affection, sentiments that make the swirling rumours all the more impactful within Newcastle's camp. What he's shown in training is second to none, Elanga continued. Whenever I speak to Alex, it's always about good things, our families, life outside of football. That's the kind of person he is. For Newcastle fans, Elanga's testimony reinforces what they already know. Alexander Isak is not just a generational talent, he is a leader, a figure who elevates those around him. Liverpool's pivot to Hugo Ekitike. While Liverpool's interest in Isak was serious, the Anfield hierarchy knows the value of flexibility. The pursuit of Alexander Isak is complicated by Newcastle's stance and the financial implications of such a deal. As such, Liverpool has already adjusted its focus. Enter Hugo Ekitike, the French striker. Long admired by Liverpool scouts, has emerged as the Reds' more realistic target. After failing to land Ekitike themselves, Newcastle has been forced to watch as the 22-year-old edges closer to Anfield. Ekitike has reportedly agreed personal terms on a 6-year contract with Liverpool and submitted a formal transfer request to force the move through from Eintracht Frankfurt. Ekitike's imminent arrival expected to cost Liverpool less than Isak's £86.5 million release clause signals a shift in strategy. It allows Liverpool to strengthen their forward line without engaging in a protracted, potentially hostile negotiation with Newcastle. The financial picture and PSR considerations. Pursuit of forwards this summer comes in the context of Premier League profit and sustainability rules, PS. Having already spent significantly since reclaiming the Premier League title, the Reds are conscious of balancing ambition with financial compliance. Ekitike's deal, while substantial, fits within Liverpool's broader strategy of acquiring young, high-ceiling talents with resale potential. Isak, while undeniably world-class, represents a more significant immediate outlay and a more complex financial commitment, but reports suggest Liverpool remains hopeful of negotiating a fee for a below his current valuation. Should they succeed, it would allow them to strengthen elsewhere, potentially in midfield or defence, without breaching PSR thresholds. What next for Alexander Isak? For Newcastle, the decision over Isaks Future is as much about principle as finance. Selling to Liverpool, a direct rival for Champions League qualification, would be a bitter pill to swallow. Yet the noise around Isak will not dissipate simply because Newcastle refuses to engage. Elanga's comments highlight the uncertainty. "I always try to focus on the present and the now," he said. Alex, being the person he is, he's the type of player who is always staying focused. Privately, Newcastle will hope that focus translates into another season leading their attack. Publicly, they must brace for further advances from Liverpool or others. Isak's value only increases with each standout performance. The Magpies' ability to keep him may ultimately define their ambitions this season. Liverpool's attack rebuild. Liverpool's forward line is evolving. With questions over Mohamed Salah's future and Darwin Núñez's consistency, the arrival of Hugo Ekitike represents both reinforcement and succession planning. The Frenchman's versatility, capable centrally or wide, fits Arne Slot's tactical vision, which emphasizes fluidity and high pressing. Ekitike's arrival lessens the immediate need for Isak, but does not close the door entirely. Liverpool, like all elite clubs, operates with a long-term vision. Should Isak remain at Newcastle for another year, Liverpool may simply bide their time. Elanga's role at Newcastle. For Anthony Elanga, the focus remains on his own adaptation. Newcastle represents a fresh start, an opportunity to fulfill the promise glimpsed at Manchester United, but rarely realised. In training, he works closely with Isak, learning from the striker who embodies the path he hopes to follow from potential to stardom. "I'm looking forward to continuing training with him," Elanga said. His words hint at a desire for stability, for partnerships to flourish rather than fracture under transfer speculation. The bigger picture, for Newcastle's ambitions extend beyond simply keeping hold of their stars. The club's recruitment, Elanga included, speaks to a desire to build sustainably, blending youth with experience, potential with proven quality. Selling Isak would undermine that vision. Yet holding on to him in the face of elite interest sends a powerful message about Newcastle's intent to challenge, not capitulate. The noise around Isak is symptomatic of success. Newcastle's challenge is to ensure it remains just noise. Conclusion: focused amidst the noise. Anthony Elanga's comments may seem minor in the grand theatre of transfer drama, but they capture the essence of the moment. Footballers live with noise. Speculation is part of the profession. What matters is how individuals and clubs respond. For now, Alexander Isak remains a Newcastle player. Hugo Ekitike looks set to become Liverpool's latest acquisition. But the summer is long, and in football, the noise rarely stops for long.